I'm just explaining the game and I'm already like messing up the entire playing area. Wonderful. So Thecos, as if you had just started with the channel today. Hey everyone, this is Thecos and I'm really excited to today be playing through Endangered, a game of survival by Joe Hopkins. A game I really enjoy. I will say a few more words like at the end of this playthrough for me regarding this game. If you're interested in only that, feel free to use the timestamps to skip to that part. But I would highly advise you to watch part of the playthrough because this is a really cool and quite unique game. This is about the survival of many animals that is threatened, and this is a cooperative game where you try to work together as conservationists, trying to save like a specific species from extinction. Of course, you can also play it solo, and that's what I will do today. You will just play like 2 roles minimum, but the upkeep is like very low, so it's very easy to play 2 roles. You could probably even play 3 if you wanted to, I think. This game thrives on the fact that like different animals, different species have different rules of how like destruction tiles are added, of how they mate and how like new animals are created. And also like there is an impact deck that is like specific to each species. Today we will be playing the standard game with the tiger. I just want to show that to you. I have 1 expansion so far, and this year I will complete my collection. At least that's the plan. So that means I will have like many more animals. So if you're interested in seeing like repeated playthroughs of this game, just with different species, which just plays a bit differently, quite a bit differently, then let me know in the comments, via social media, via Discord, anywhere you can, so I know that there is like an interest from your side to see that. All right, before we get started, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's go. All right, there we go. This is how you start a hopefully successful video. Small disclaimer, this game is not too easy and it can really spiral out of control depending on like how the dice are rolled, what the impact, like how the impact deck is shuffled and everything. So it is a tough game. I can't promise you I will win. All right, without much further ado, let me just quickly set up the game and then we can get started. All right, there we go. I am truly excited to bring this game to you because I really like this one. All right, so now you see the reason why I've pulled up the camera so far and why I had to like combine 2 of my playmats, because this game does take quite a lot of table space. It's not that much on the table, right? But like for recording it for this channel, it takes up quite a bit of space. So I'm a little bit far away today, right? But as soon as I've like explained like the most important things to you, I think this overview here is just fine. I will try to zoom in a little bit while explaining. When I edit this video, I just hope the resolution will also be fine there. All right, so this is like the game board. So first of all, let me just kind of show you around what you see here. In the middle, we have the game board. This is the forest side of the board. On the other side, I can maybe show that to you later if I remember, is the water side for the otters. This one here is for the tigers, which we will be trying to save today. And also for the American red wolf, which is like one of the expansions that I have. We have a few tigers here already on the board in our forest. There are like columns and rows that I will speak about a little bit later. Here we have our years. We will be playing either until the end of the 8th year or 9th year. That depends on when we win the game. We need to like convince these ambassadors here of different countries. We need to have at least 4 yes votes to support us. Oh, now I'm messing everything up. I'm just explaining the game and I'm already like messing up the entire playing area. Wonderful. So Thecos, as if you had just started with the channel today. All right, so what I was trying to say, we need to have 4 yes votes of these 6 ambassadors at the end of the game. I will explain like during the game what exactly that means. It doesn't make sense to explain it now that we don't see what they do. We need to uncover them first during the game. Then here on the right, we do have actions that we can do during the game. There is one more action that we added as the starting card for the Lobbyist that we are playing. We also have this fundraising here. This is a once card, not an action card. That means we once do what it says here. That means we gain 1 million for each player. And each player does not mean me. That means like each of these figures that we are playing, right? I will get to those in just a moment. And then we just discard this card here to the left. That's just fine. And then here on the left, we do have our characters. I have chosen today the TV wildlife host and the lobbyist. The TV wildlife host has a special power, reshoot the scene. After rolling your action dice, you may discard a card from your hand to change all of your action dice to any values you want. That is a very good power. I really like that one. But each of these characters comes with 2 powers, right? So that adds to replayability. Not only are there, I think, 5 characters, I think 5 figures in the game, but also each one of them has like one power each, right? And I just chose that one. And the lobbyist has the ability Money Talks. Once per your own turn, you may pay 1 million to add 1 influence to any ambassador. That's also really good if you just need like a little bit of influence here and there. So we always need to try to like have money as the lobbyist. Then we can just put like influence cubes there all the time during our own turn. That means up to 9 times, depending on how many rounds we play. Here we have our decks that we draw from. To finish up the setup, we will draw 2 decks from each. I will just keep them here at the bottom. You won't really see the cards too much. Every time I draw cards, I will tell you what they do. And then when I play them, of course, as well. So for the TV wildlife host, we just drew these 2 cards. Commercial, which is an action card. Draw 3 cards, then discard 1 card from your hand. So if we play this, we can play this in here, and then it can be used with our dice. This is like really nice to get cards, right? That is important for the TV wildlife host for their power, for her power, and for the lobbyist, we just need money. And then we've adopted an animal, discard a card from your hand, then move 1 or 2 animals up to 2 spaces each. That's very important to move these around. And the lobbyist, we have drawn these 2 cards. We have a once card, which is fundraising again, the one we just had. Each player gains 1 million. That's good. That's a good card to play. And then also we have signed petition, add 1 influence to 1 ambassador. It's an action again we can put there. So these are the cards that we drew. And here are our offspring die and our impact die. And also we have the impact deck. These are like usually bad cards. There are also some good cards in there, but most of them are bad, and try to mess with like all the plans that we have. It is our goal to have like 4 yes votes of these 6 until the end of the game. Later on during the game, you will understand what that means. We lose if either the population of tigers on the board is reduced to 0 or 1, or if we just reach the 9th round and we still haven't gotten those 4 yes votes. That is pretty much it, quite straightforward. Also, we have like a few more tigers up here. If the supply is empty, we can't add any more to the board. And then also we have our destruction tiles here, right? All right, so also let me go over these actions quickly. We have relocate, move 1 animal, 1 space. Then we have replant, pay 1 million, then remove 1 destruction tile that is not adjacent to an animal. Then we have play 1 card from your hand. That is very important. This way we get like cards into play, right? Then we have social media campaign, gain 1 million or draw 1 card. Also very good. Cards for her and money for him. And then protest, remove 1 influence, then like from one of the ambassadors. Then remove 2 destruction tiles that are adjacent to each other. That is also a very good power. And with that, I would suggest that we just start playing, because I will explain everything else as we go through the game. So we start with our first, with the first character. We can choose like who starts. I will just take the TV wildlife host for now. That's fine. What we do is we take her token, her camera token here, and we just put that on the calendar token here. So we know it's her turn now, and she has gone. So she is like done for this round. Then we take these 3 dice here. We just roll them and put them back onto her board. Oh, that is a really bad roll. And now we can use these dice in order to do these actions. That's all we do, right? It's a dice placement game. So if I played it here, for example, then I could move 1 animal, 1 space, which is actually quite good in action to do. These dice keep lying there, right? They just stay there, and when it's like the lobbyist turn, like some dice are already there, the ones from the TV wildlife host. And if we want to play another die there, it needs to be one of a higher value. In a 2-player game, which we are playing right now as a solo player, right? The die even needs to be 2 higher, right? So if I put it 2 here, we would have to put at least a 4 here, right? And then when it's her turn again, she takes her dice back, and then she needs to be higher than a 4, right? So that makes things a little bit complicated. Now you see why 2 6s is really bad, right? Because we put them on here, and that's it. That action is blocked until she takes her dice back. So let me look at her powers again. Drawing 3 cards is very good. She needs that later on. Adopting an animal is also very good, but that card exists more than once, right? As far as I know, the white cards here, these are generic cards that every character has. The yellow ones here are character specific. So I think what I will do, I will use her power immediately. I will discard this one, although it's a very, very good card, but still, I will discard this one in order to set like all dice to any values that I want. Because otherwise, this is a very bad start into the game. So we'll just put everything to 1, right? It just makes sense at the very beginning to have everything as low as possible, like this. Later on in the game, I might not set them all to a value immediately, but like as I place them, right? Because I don't know what I want to do yet. All right, so we need to do a few things. First of all, I definitely want to play that 1 card. So I'll put a 1 here, and that says play 1 card from your hand. So we'll take the commercial card and play it here. Now that action is available for everyone, right? One more thing to note, the social media campaign here, it says no limits. That means you can place any number here that you want, even if you play a lower number. And also, there's another restriction here. Each character can only have 1 die on 1 action, right? So I couldn't place a second blue die here for the TV wildlife host. But here it's fine. Low limits, you can place as many dice here as you want to. That's important because like money and cards are very important. All right, so we played 1 card, that's fine. Then I will take this one and I would move 1 animal, 1 space. I would move this tiger down 1. I will explain in a moment why. And the last die, now I'm thinking. Drawing 3 cards could be an option, right? So we would have enough cards for next round. Do we need money? At the moment, we don't really need too much money, right? There isn't too much that we can do here except removing destruction tiles. But that's fine. So I will actually place this one right here. Then I will draw 3 cards and discard 1. So let's see what we get. These are all cards unique to her. All right. Royalties. Each time any other player discards a card from their hand, you gain 1 million. That is okay, but she's mainly discarding, right? So that won't help us too much at the moment. Wild Words Season 2. Discard a card from your hand, then remove 2 destruction tiles that are adjacent to mating pairs. Ooh, that is really good. We will definitely keep that one. Wild World Season 1. Discard a card from your hand to reveal the top 3 cards of the Impact deck. Return them in any order. That one is okay. That is one we can discard a little bit later. You can kind of work with that, but I don't know how important that is right now. So this one needs to be discarded, right? Because that's this action here. All right, so that was the action phase. Now we do the offspring phase. Now we count our mating pairs. Mating pairs are 2 species, like 2 animals of the same species that are on the same square. So we have 3 mating pairs, and we always take like the number of mating pairs plus 1, which is 4, and we need to roll a 4 or lower here in order to produce offspring. That is a 1. That's perfect. That is enough. That means we now take a tiger from the supply and we put that one adjacent to any mating pair. Let me put it right here. But the tigers have a specific way of mating, right? Because they are territorial. One of the tigers in the mating pair must move to an empty adjacent space now, right? But an empty space without any tigers and without any deforestation tiles here. These destruction tiles. So we will move that one. Let me move it up there. I will show you in a moment why. I will show you right now. This is the destruction die. We will use that now in the destruction phase. We now choose a row or column. I will just choose row number 1 here. I think that's... No, actually, let me choose column 1. And then we roll the die for this column. That's a 4. So in this column, we go to the 4, right? And we put a destruction tile there. If there already were a destruction tile, we go up or down that chosen column or chosen row, left, right, in the direction of a tiger and put it like in the next free space. And also if such a thing ever hits a tile with tigers, these are all lost, and we remove them from the board, right? Remember, we always must have more than one tiger on the board, otherwise we lose. All right, that was the destruction phase. Now with the impact phase, now we draw one card from the impact deck. Government upheaval. The Soviet Union had strict anti-poaching controls. Its collapse made poaching Siberian tigers easier. So persistent impact. Persistent means we put it here in the tableau, and it will like trigger during the game whenever specific things happen. This one says when a tiger sighting card enters, there are like tiger sighting cards in the impact deck. Remove one influence from one ambassador. Not a good card. So it doesn't do anything at the moment, but as soon as we draw a tiger sighting card, then we will have to do that. Alrighty. And then we have the upkeep phase. That means the player draws one more card. Protest. That's the one that we have here, where we have to remove one influence, and then we can remove 2 destruction tiles that are adjacent to each other. We don't need that a second time, but it's good. We need to like be able to discard cards. And then it is the next player's turn. Now the lobbyist will take his token and also put it on the calendar space. Take the 3 dice, roll them, and then we can start the action phase. 1, 4, 5. All right, the one is pretty low, but let's see. So here we cannot, with this one, we cannot reroll. So 1, 4, 5. Let's see what we can do. Moving animal spaces is important. We need to like have these mating pairs, right? So I might want to move one animal, one space again. Also, I would like to play a few cards here. We don't really have like any good like money cards yet. So what I would want to do is play one card. So let me put a 4 here. Remember, there is a 1 already here. That means we need to be at least 2 higher, which would be a 3, right? So that is a 4. Then we can play one card. We need to start adding influence, but we can also do that next round. I think for now, let's get a bit of money. No, let me play the signed petition card here. So we have that action now. Then I will spend 1 million here, like 1 money. By the way, I do have the tokens off screen here. In order to add 1 influence to any ambassador. So I can show you how that works. How that works is we have 3 blue ambassadors, 2 green and 1 gray one. They all want different things. And if we like reach their goal, whatever they want to reach, whatever they want, then that's a yes vote, right? But also like things can be taken away again. The blue ones usually are like things that we collect, like cards in our hand, or like tigers on the board, things like that. Green ones are usually luck based. They like have to do with the roll of a die. And the gray one is animal specific as far as I know. So let's do the gray one first, because I think that one is quite important actually. So let's turn that over, because whenever we place the first influence on a card, we turn the card over, right? And now I put 1 influence on there. So this one says Russia, check the board. Spaces with 1 or more animals plus influence there, right? So what we need is we need 8 or more spaces with 1 or more animals here, but we can influence that number with influence cubes here. So we have 1 influence cube there, so we only need 7 spaces with 1 or more animals at the moment. That's fine. We need to reach it at the end of year 8 or at the latest at the end of year 9. All right, that wasn't too bad. I think what I will actually do, I will actually put the 1 on here to add one influence to 1 ambassador. So let's turn over 1 more. Let's turn over this one here. This is Canada. Count active player cards. Okay, that is the active player cards, which means all player cards that are in play right here. At the moment we have 3. Plus the influence here needs to amount to 14 or more, right? So at the moment we have 1 influence and 3 cards. That's 4 of 14. So we still have a lot to go there. Okay, so and then let me see. We don't have any money anymore, right? So either I take the 5 and move an animal 1 space. That would be good. Or I just take a little bit of money because we really need that, right? But I think I will rather move 1 animal 1 space. And then let's move this guy over here again. All right, that was the turn of the lobbyist. I mean the action phase at least. Now we do the offspring phase. We have 3 mating pairs. So we need a 4 or lower. That is a 1 again. Okay, that's good. So this time, this is like the first time that low rolls actually are good for me. So this might be just my chance. Okay, so, and then we put like 1 adjacent to any mating pair. Up here it's getting a little bit full, so let's go down here. Let's add 1 right. Actually, it would make more sense to continue here. So I'll put it right there, and then put that one over. This one has to then go over there because, as I said, right there, territorial. Then we do our destruction phase. Oh, wait. Before we roll, I will choose column 1 again. That's a 3. Okay, that's good. A 2 would have been kind of bad. All right. And then we do the impact phase. That is a clear cutting, persistent impact again. When a tiger sighting card enters play, roll for 1 more deforestation, which is what we just did, right? So whenever we now draw a tiger sighting card, there are like quite a few in here, I think 5 or 6 at least. Then we need to do both of these things, like remove 1 influence and do 1 more deforestation thing. That is pretty bad. And then we do the upkeep, so that means just drawing 1 card. And now the next player would go, but there is no next player. Both have gone this year, right? So it means both take their tokens here back. Or like first you move down like the calendar, then everybody takes their tokens back. Important, the one here on top, the one who went last, which is the Lobbyist, cannot go first next time, but any other player can. So in a 2-player game or in a solo game, that means that we always take turns, right? That means the Lobbyist can't go at the moment. Now the TV Wildlife host would also take the token, but they would put it back immediately because it's their turn, right? So we'll just leave that on there. And now the TV Wildlife host would take their blue dice back. The gray ones from the Lobbyist will stay there and roll the dice. Oh, these are very low. That could be kind of bad, but let's see what we want to do at least. Maybe. So what do we want to do this round? I would like to play this 1 card. This one here. This gives us more ways of removing destruction tiles. So I at least want to play a card, which I can't because there's a 4 here. I need a 6 at least, right? So let us remove 1. Let us discard 1 card, and then we can set all the action dice to any value that we want. I will put that one to a 6 and put it on plan. So now we can play 1 card from our hand. I will play the Wild World Season 2. That one allows us to remove 2 destruction tiles adjacent to mating pairs. That's not too bad. Then I would like to move 1 animal, 1 space, but that's not possible because 5, I need 2 more than that. That one is blocked. I can't do that. And I cannot move animals any other way. That is pretty bad, actually. Remove 1 influence, then remove 2 destruction tiles that are adjacent to each other. That works. I can remove these 2. I think that's what I will do. So let me put a 1 here. I will remove 1 influence. This one is easier to get. So let me remove the one from Russia. And then we can remove these 2 destruction tiles, put them back into the supply. That's good. You see, this game seems very easy, right? Just wait. Just wait. This will all change. And then we have this one here. So we don't need to remove any destruction tiles. You know what? I will put this to a 1 and just draw 3 more cards and discard 1. This way we can like get action cards down here, right? And we do need player cards here, quite a few for this one, right? So at least when I have like 8 cards here, that would be kind of good. That's also like all the space I have here. Otherwise I would have to like shift around a little bit. All right, so let's see what we have. We have signed petition again. That is add 1 influence to 1 ambassador. That's good to have. Go to work is nice. That one just lets you gain 2 million. That's also very good. And I got go to work again. Okay. So let us just do that. Like this. There's like 1 restriction. As far as I know, you can have the same action card twice here. That's fine. And you can also use it twice. But you can only like play 1 card from your hand per turn. So if we had like a second card that will allow us to do that, I think we cannot do that. But I'm not 100% sure. The rules weren't 100% clear in my opinion at least. But I don't think that ever comes to... I think that won't be a topic here anyway. All right. That was the action phase. Now we do the offspring phase again. We have only 2 mating pairs this time, so we need a 3 or lower. Okay, we are okay. I don't want to jinx anything. So let's put this one. Where do we want to put it? Let's see. Let's put it right there next to this mating pair, and this one goes over. That doesn't make sense. I think no. Wait. We do it differently. Let me do it like this. Let me put this one here and this one down here, like this. I think that works. So we have almost all tigers on the board, right? Only one missing. So that's not bad. Now we need to put them together to mating pairs. But let's see. Oh, by the way, we should have discarded one card earlier. I forgot that. Okay, now let's roll that die. I will choose column 1 again. That's a 4. That's fine. So deforestation right there. And then we draw an impact card. Please don't draw a tiger sighting. It's a tiger sighting. Of course it is. That's an instant impact. That means we just do that, what it says there, and then we discard it. This triggers a variety of persistent impacts. If 0 persistent impacts are currently in play, draw and resolve the next impact, right? They won't let us get off that easily, but I will just discard that over here. Let me just discard it to the bottom of the deck, maybe, like this. So now these 2 trigger here, right? Because we drew a tiger sighting card. So first of all, we need to remove 1 influence from 1 ambassador. That's kind of bad. And then here, when a tiger sighting card enters play, roll for 1 more deforestation. I will take column 1 again. That's a 6. Okay. Down there. Okay. Like last game I played, last game I played tigers as well. Before that, the otters. And I had I think 2 of these clear cutting cards. And I think 2 of those, So every round, every time a tiger sighting card happened, I needed to roll for 3 deforestation in 1 round. That was pretty bad. By the way, there are different difficulty modes. We're playing on normal at the moment. If we play 1 higher, I think there's more destruction happening. I'm not quite sure at the moment. All right, impact. So we're done. Now we do upkeep. So we draw 1 more card. That one is recycle. Pay 1 million, then draw 1 card and play 1 card. That's actually not too bad, but it requires money. We're not that good with money at the moment. All right, that means it's now the Lobbyist turn. So we put the token on here, take the dice back. So now you know exactly how the game works, right? But just keep watching, because if you keep watching, that's good for my channel. And also, it could be quite exciting because this game is not easy. All right, so 446. Let's see, I definitely need some money. You know what? I can't play a card. I can't play a card. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. I can't play any cards. Okay. So, yeah, I just need to move animals, right? Oh, it's such a high die, but okay, that's fine. 4. Move 1 animal, 1 space. Let me move. What do I do? Let me move this one right there. I think that's fine. We also need money, right? So I will put this one right here to get some money. And I will spend that immediately with my own power here in order to add a cube to an ambassador. Let me see where I can put one. Yeah, let me put one. But actually, let's turn over all the other cards. Let's add an influence here. That is USA. County destruction supply. Destruction tiles in the supply. 10 or more. Plus the influence here, right? So that's not too bad because I think we have 12 altogether or 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We have 16 tiles, right? So if we have a maximum of 6 tiles here, we don't even need influence cubes there, right? And we have 3 cards, 3 actions to remove influence at the moment. So we're doing well there. All right, so and then I can't really do anything. I could add from influence to an ambassador, but with a 6, that's pretty bad. So instead, I would just go here and just gain 1 more million. I think that's just fine. All right, let's do the offspring phase. We have 2 mating pairs. We need 3 or lower. Nope, they didn't want to mate. Okay, that's the way it is. Destruction. Let's choose. So I can't choose column 1 now. I think I forgot to say that at the beginning because there needs to be a tiger in that column or row, right? So instead I will choose row 6. That's a 4. Oh, that was close. That was kind of close. Okay. And why don't I have tigers here? Because I wanted to have them mate, which didn't work. All right. And then we draw an impact card, which is a tiger sighting again. That's pretty bad, because that means now we lose 1 influence cube again, and also we roll for 1 destruction. Let's column 6 is kind of row 6 is kind of bad now. Let's do row 4. That's the 1. The 1 already has a tile, so now we move into the in this row that I chose. We move into the direction of the next tiger. So right there. Okay, but these are adjacent again. I can get these gone quite easily. All right, then upkeep. We draw another card. Volunteer. Discard both this volunteer card and 1 active persistent impact card. Ooh, that could be good. And it's an action, right? It only has spot room for 1 die, right? But this one is really good because this way we can just discard these persistent cards. Oh, we could do that. I think I would do that. Very, very good. Okay, so now it's the end of the year because everybody has gone. We advance 1 year. He takes his token back. She would take her back as well, but put it back on. And it's now her turn. All right, so let's see what we can do. First of all, we need to take back our dice, of course, and re-roll them. So everything, almost everything is free because he just took some money. So 1, 2, 5. Okay, we might not, oops, we might not even have to discard a card. By the way, the cards in your hand are unlimited, if I don't get the rules wrong. So let's see what she can do. So I definitely want to play 1 card from my hand. So I will put that one right here. I want to play this one here, that we can gain 2 million. That is pretty good. Okay, that is important. So what else do we want to do? We want to move animals, and also we want to remove destruction tiles, right? So we can't do this because we don't have any influence. You know what? Let me discard 1 card so I can set those to any values that I want. Let me just put them to 1 for now, but I might also change that still. And then I will put this one right. Let me see. I will put this one right here, I think, to add 1 influence to an ambassador, which I would remove immediately again in order to remove 2 destruction tiles. Like this, right? But that that influence cube I would have added to this card here. That is France. Count persistent impacts, active persistent impacts, plus influence here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to get rid of one of these cards here. Oh no, I can't do that yet. Oh no, I can't do that yet because the volunteer still hasn't been played. That's fine. Okay, then I'm done. We have 2 mating pairs, so 3 or lower. We actually now have all tigers on the board. That is something that doesn't happen very often. So we put that one here, and this one goes down here. Yeah, look at this. Okay, we have all of them on the board. Yeah, we need like 8 spaces with 1 or more animals. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 at the moment. Okay, good. Then we do the destruction. Let's choose column 1 again. That's the 5. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to jinx anything, but last game definitely was worse. So we are starting okay. Then impact card. Save the Tiger Fund. Any one, that's an instant impact. Any one player may pay 3 million to discard 1 active persistent impact. That would have been awesome, but we have no money. So this one doesn't help us. That's kind of bad. That would have been really good. All right. Then she draws a card again. Donate. After any player rolls any die, you may pay 2 million to add 1, 2, or subtract 1 from that die. That's kind of okay, but it's in continuous, right? So what you do is you play that, and then you put it near the player board, the small one here, and then it's just a power you can like use at any time, pretty much, right? Whenever that thing triggers. So yeah, okay, sure. Why not? All right, so that was the end of the turn. So now it's the lobbyist turn. Let's just see what we can do here. But first we take these dice and re-roll them. 4, 4, 6. So one thing that is interesting is that we don't need to like really move animals around, right? If we just get rid of destruction tiles all the time, we're doing okay because we have no tigers in the supply anymore. We can't add any more. So actually, I think we're okay here. So now we can like work on like influence, which is like very important. We haven't done anything there yet. Work on influence, getting rid of these things here, playing more cards, right? Like to get this influence stuff. Get like the yes votes. We want to get the yes votes at the end of year 8 if possible, because year 9 bad stuff can happen. We don't want that. So these numbers are pretty high, but it doesn't matter. Let me put the 6 on. No, let me put the 4 on. Play a card from your hand. I will play the volunteer, and then I will put the 6 on here. It only has one space anyway. And it says discard both this volunteer card and one active persistent card. I will do that. I will keep the die there for now. I will discard this one here. And then we can discard the one that just adds more deforestation, right? I don't really want that one. So that's good. And then also, let me add one more influence with money, like this. And then go here and gain 2 more million. I think that's good. Actually, no, I will not add the influence with money because maybe we get that 3 million card again, right? I will just gain 2 million and that's it. That's fine for now. We will put the influence on there soon enough. There is like one card I'm still waiting for, and that means that card is you can like pay 3 million in order to put 3 influence cubes on one ambassador. I'm waiting for that one. In the meantime, I will just collect a little bit of money, which is also important if you want to save animals, right? Okay, so mating pairs, we only have 1, so we needed 2 or lower. But it doesn't matter because we don't have any tigers anyway. So destruction, I will choose column 1 again. 6. All right. So 6 here already has one, so we move towards the next tiger. All right. That was that. Then we draw an impact card. Tiger sighting. All right, so we trigger this one here. We remove 1 influence from ambassador, but we don't have any, right? So nothing happens. And the other one we have removed. So that's good. That's good. All right, then you draw 1 more card. Oops. Okay. Yeah, messing up again. Oops. Add 1 influence to 1 ambassador. Sign petition again. Okay, yeah. I still want that other card, to be honest, but that's the way it is. All right, the year is over. Oh, we're almost halfway done. And we really haven't, we really don't have any influence there yet. All right, so she takes back her dice, rolls them, 1, 2, 5. Okay, that's actually not too bad. We might not have to discard a card. Let's see. So we definitely need more money. That is important, right? Gain 2 million would be a 6. You know what? Then let me discard this donate card so we can put anything to any values that we want. We put a 6 here to gain 2 million. I think that's not too bad. It's not bad to actually have money. And then I think I would add an influence to an ambassador. Let's put that one. Let's put the 2. Well, actually, we can put them to any value we want. So 1, we can add an influence to an ambassador. Let's add it to this one here, Germany. All right, well, that's fitting, right? Roll 2 dice. The greater of the 2 die results plus influence needs to be 8. So here we need to have at least 2 influence and roll a 6 then, right? So yeah. And then I will put this to a 1 as well. Remove 1 influence and remove 2 destruction tiles that are adjacent. Let's remove these 2, I think. Yeah. Okay. So this would be a yes vote at the moment, right? Because it says the destruction tiles in the supply need to be at least 10, and we have that, right? I think we have like 15 here or something. Let me count again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Oh, right, we have 2 on the board. That's why. So this one we have. Here we need to have cubes on here as well. Spaces with 1 or more animals we also have, right? So at the moment we have two yes votes. We do have 2. Player cards in play, we have 5 at the moment. We definitely need more. But okay, we are doing better than we could. We don't really need to roll for the tigers because we have like all of them out on the board. So let's choose column 1 again. I will just keep doing that because that is a pretty good setup at the moment. Okay, that's fine. Then impact card. It's a tiger sighting again, but that means we need to remove 1 cube from ambassador, but we don't have any. So we're okay there. Okay, this way it's okay so far. Last time when I played this, I had like 4 or 5 persistent impacts here, and like drew all the tigers, I think, like towards the end, right? And like things just spiraled out of control. At the moment, we're controlling things quite well. All right, so she draws one more card. Canvassing, that's the one I was looking for. Pay 3 million, then add 3 influence to 1 ambassador. That one is huge. Okay. So it is the Lobbyist turn again. So let's put the token on here. So let's see. 3, 4, 4. That is not perfect, but it is what it is. We do have that fundraising card, right? And that would allow us, like, for each player to gain 1 million. That wouldn't be too bad. We can't go here, gain 2 million. We cannot do that. I don't really need to move animals at the moment. What I could do is like add an influence, then remove it again to remove these destruction tiles, and play a card. I think that's what I should do. So add one influence to an ambassador. Let's do the 3 here, like this. Then we'll add an influence to the last ambassador, so all of them are turned over. Brazil. Roll 1 die, and the die result plus influence here must be 6. Okay. Then I will put a 4. Oops, that was a 4. On, where was it? Here, to remove that influence again and remove these 2 destruction tiles. That's good. We need to keep that in check. By the way, in case you're interested, on the other side we have oil spills, and these are like for the otter scenario on the other side of the board. Okay, and then this one here I will use. What did I want to do? Oh, I wanted to play 1 card, and I will play the fundraising card. This is like a one-time use, so I will discard that, and every player gains 1 million. Okay, so we do have some money to do the canvassing thing quite soon. That is really good because the canvassing card, that was the one I was looking for. That one is really, really good. All right, that was the action phase. Now offspring doesn't matter because we have all the tigers. So let's do column 6 again. Oops! Oh man, come on! I'm bowling like bowling with tigers. And that was a 5, so we put a destruction tile right here. Okay. Yeah, we are quite lucky regarding that. This is anti-poaching patrol. If all players discard a card from their hand, you may reveal a face-down ambassador. Doesn't matter, all of them are face up, so that works. By the way, the impact deck is like completely different for the otters, right? And for like all the other animals. So that's like one thing that really changes up things. Also like how they mate, how they produce offspring, how destruction tiles are added, right? Everything else, like regarding the cards and the characters, that's like something else. And ambassadors, there are also more ambassadors in the box. But I will talk about that a little bit later. All right, so now we draw 1 card. Advocate. Choose 2 ambassadors with 0 influence on them and add 1 influence to each. Just once, yeah? That's a good card. That's a good card to play maybe next round. All right, so we go forward 1 year. All right, it's now her turn. You will definitely play that canvassing card in just a moment. 116. That is actually a really good roll, I think. So first, let's put the 6 on plan here to play a card from your hand, and that will be canvassing, 100%. Then we will place 1 die here on canvassing. We will pay 3 million. And we will add 3 influence cubes to 1 ambassador. There also is another card that you can pair with that really well. That is a one-time card. I think the Lobbyist has that one, where you can like once move up to 5 influence cubes, which is like really good at the end of the game, right? So 3, what do we want to do? Like spaces with 1 or more animals, we do have that quite under control. I think we don't need to add anything here. The die results, sure. Active persistent impacts, that would be an easy one to get, right? We need to like put like 7 cubes on here and we're good. Player cards in play. I think these 2 are important. We need these 2 because destruction tiles and spaces with 1 or more animals, we're already cool. So let's put 3 on here. Actually, 2, 4. We have 6 cards here. 8. We need 8 on both. We need 7 on here, 8 on there. So let's put the 3 on here for now. Okay, that's fine. And with the 1, What will we do with the 1? Interesting. Let's see. We could do replant, but that doesn't really do a whole lot. Draw 3 cards. We could like draw a few more cards, but we already have 2. That's fine. You know what? I think I would just put it here to just gain another 1,000,000. It's just good to have a bit of money. All right. Offspring we don't need to do. So let's do the destruction here. Oh, by the way, I would have like chosen that column again. That's a 1. Okay, that one is now too close. We need to get rid of that one. Because if we ever roll a 1 here, it will destroy one of our tigers, like make one of our tigers lost. Impact. Fragmentation. Fragmentation is when human development causes a separation between connected tiger territories. When a tiger sighting card enters play, lose 1 tiger that is in a space adjacent to a deforestation tile. That one we need to somehow get rid of, if possible. That one is dangerous. Alright, she will draw a card. Sign petition again, add 1 influence to 1 ambassador. We have 2 of those already here. Okay, then it's the lobbyist turn. Put that on here, take these 3 dice, and then let's continue. 1, 2, and 4. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Let's see what we can do here. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. We need to get rid of that destruction tile, but we cannot do it, I think. We have nothing to get rid of that, because this one needs to be adjacent, this one, 2 that are adjacent, and this one, yeah. What we could do, we could move that tiger. You know what? Let's put a 1 here to move that tiger 1 down. And with that, we are a little bit more safe regarding this column here. Okay, so that is fine. What else do we do? We need to add influence, right? That's important. So let me put that one here to pay 3 million in order to add 3 influence to an ambassador. Let's add 3 more to Canada. Let's like really try to convince Canada that they need to help. And then I will also spend that money here in order to add 1 more influence. We'll also add, actually, we might play more cards, right? Let's add that one here. And then I will place my die on sign petition to add 1 more influence to an ambassador right here. Okay, I think this way we are doing okay. All right, so no offspring, but let's do column 1 again. Ooh, okay, see, good that I moved that tiger, right? Because now we go to 1 and down here, so that tiger would have been lost. So now we can get rid of these 2 again, because they're adjacent to each other. That's good. Okay, so let's see here. Logging permit. Female tigers' territories are about 7 square miles, while male territories range from 23 to 39 square miles. Yeah, that checks out. Instant impact. Find both clear-cutting cards and put them into play if they aren't already. Okay, so what we do, we check the discard pile first. Clear cutting, there's one. And now we also check the deck and we just have to reshuffle it then. Clear cutting is right there. That is like adding deforestation. So now you see we have an issue here because now we have 4 persistent impacts. When a tiger sighting card enters, we have to roll twice for deforestation. We need to remove 1 influence from ambassador, and we need to lose 1 tiger adjacent to deforestation tile. So now it's getting a little rough, but we just need to survive 3 more rounds while putting stuff on there. So we can make it. All right, so you take your thing back here. We go forward 1 year. You as well, but you put it back and take your dice back. Did I draw 1 card with the lobbyist? Oh, I think I didn't. Did I draw a card yet? I don't think so. I don't think I did. Okay. 226. Let's see what we can do here. All right. So first of all, I do need to put that die here. Remove 1 influence, and then remove 2 that are adjacent. These 2 here. I need to remove those. Then I will play a 2 right here to gain 2 million. Oops, not for you. And then I will place the 6 on here on canvassing to play 3 million to add. Well, actually, I could also do that next round, right? Because maybe there's this card coming up with like these pay 3 million to get rid of these. Do I have a way to get rid of these? I don't think so at the moment. I don't, right? Not really, no. That is kind of bad. I kind of hate that. Yeah, I will still put that here. Pay 3 million. And then I will just put 3 cubes. Where will I put them? I think I will put them on France again. Because I have 4 here and then we'll have 4 here. That's exactly what I need. I need 8 or more, 4 persistent impacts, and 4 influence cubes. That's exactly what I have. So I have 3 yes votes at the moment. Okay. Okay, that is not horrible. Could be worse. So offspring we don't have to do. We don't, again, column 1. That is 6. I will just do column 1 until I decide not to anymore, because that just works at the moment with my setup quite well. It won't work anymore as soon as like that tiger here is lost, right? That one is like crucial to my strategy, because then I could do row 1. That would also be okay, but not as perfect. Okay, and then we draw an impact card. Save the tiger fund. Oh, come on. Now it says any one player may pay 3 million to discard 1 active persistent impact. Man, I should have waited with those 3 million, but okay, that's the way the game goes. All right, it's the lobbyist's turn. Put your stuff on here, get your dice back. Then we roll them, and let's see what we can do. Oh, these are pretty high. I don't like that too much, to be honest. But I have a few ideas. So first of all, let me put the 4 on here to gain 2 million. That's always important. Like this. Then I will place this 4 over... over here. Play 1 card. And I want to play this one here. A once card. Choose 2 ambassadors with 0 influence on them and add 1 influence to each. That's good. I will just add 1 influence here and 1 influence there. That's good. So let me discard that one, and then I will place this one right here, remove 1 influence. Let me remove this one here, I guess, and then we can remove 2 destruction tiles that are adjacent to each other, these 2. Okay, so we got that under control. That's fine. 2 more years, come on, 2 more years. Like the tile deciding cards, they will like mess a lot up, but let's see. So no mating. Destruction is 5. So you always have to choose a row or column, right? But I'm always choosing the same one at the moment. Okay, and then impact cards. That is a tile sighting. Okay, that is pretty bad. So now we do all of that. So first of all, 1 more deforestation. Let me choose column 1 again. That's a 2. Okay. And for the second one, let me choose row 1. That's a 5. Okay. I see. Good. Then we do remove 1 influence from 1 ambassador. Yeah, let's take this one here. That is a luck-based one anyway. And then we lose 1 tiger that is adjacent to a deforestation tile. Who do we want to lose? Let's lose this one here. Okay. So we have 1 we can put back. All right, that was bad, but we can somehow salvage that, I think. All right, so you draw a card, go to work, gain 2 million. Okay, fine. And then we just take this back, and it's your turn. Oh, we go 1 year forward, by the way. So I hope I didn't forget, like going 1 year forward at some point. 3, 4, and 6. So here we have 2, 4, 6. So either 2 more cards or 2 more cubes. 2 more cards maybe wouldn't be too bad, right? Can we play a card here with a 6? Yeah, we could do that. So let me put that one here. To play 1 card, let me just play recycle here. That's good. I somehow need to get rid of these, but I can't. That's the issue. I could get rid of this one here or that one. But I need to get rid of this one actually, right? That's kind of bad. But yeah, okay. It's the way it is. Then what will I do? We still have 2 dice left. Let me be a little bit safe here. Let me put the 4 right here to move one animal 1 space and move him here. Because then he's not adjacent here. That's fine. And then this one, I think I just need a little bit of money, right? Also, we could just add 1 influence to an ambassador. You know what? Let's just add 1 influence to an ambassador. And let's do it like this. Let's add 1 more here. There. Because now we have 2, 4, 6, 7 plus 7. We have 14. We have that. Destruction tiles in the supply, we need 10. I think we have 11. Yeah, we have 11. So we are fine here. Persistent threats, 4 plus 4 influence, that's 8. We are fine there. Spaces with 1 or more animals, at least 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we are fine on all of these fronts. So we have 4 yes votes at the moment. That's good. We just need to keep that until the end of next year. So offspring. Offspring doesn't work because if we add 1 here adjacent to a mating pair, we also need to move 1 of those to an adjacent empty space, and we can't do that. We don't have any room here. I should have moved this one up, but I didn't. All right, so let's choose row 1. 2. But that is bad because that means this tiger is lost. Okay, it's getting a little bit dicey at the moment. Okay, then we need to draw a card. Tiger sighting. Yeah, that is pretty bad. So now everything will go down the drain, I think. So we need to do 2 more deforestations. Let's choose, I can't choose row 1 anymore. There is no tiger there. So let's choose row 2. That's a 5. Okay. Let's choose row 2 again. That's a 2. Okay. Then we need to remove 1 influence from ambassador. These are both bad. But let me remove 1 from here, because then we would have the option to also play a card instead. And then we lose 1 tiger adjacent to a deforestation tile. Yeah, let's remove this one here. Maybe? No, let's remove. I think it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's remove this one here. No, let's remove this one. So now I got it. Okay, that's that. So then you draw a card. You don't have any cards anymore, so you will just shuffle your deck. All right, that is royalties. That was when another player discards a card from their hand, you gain 1 million. Okay, fine enough. Then it's the lobbyist's turn. All right. So let's see what we can do. We need to get rid of these deforestation tiles, 100%. 366, that is not too great. Okay, I have a few ideas. So first of all, I will remove 1 influence. I will remove 1 right here. And then I can remove these two. Actually, let me remove these 2 tiles, like this. Okay. Then I need money. I need 1 million. And then I will, even though it's a 6, that's kind of bad, but I will go here to pay 3 million, to add 3 influence to 1 ambassador. And I will add the 3, 2, 4, 5 plus 7. Yeah, we need to add it here. So now we have even 1 cube too many here, but that's good in case we need to discard 1. Because tiger sighting always makes us do that. All right, so now we need a 2 or lower. That's a 3. So there's no offspring. And I will choose column 2. That's a 4. Okay. There we go. All not perfect, but okay. And then please not a tiger sighting. Okay, fragmentation. When a tiger sighting card, okay, that we lose like 1 more tiger adjacent to a deforestation tile. We now have an issue with this one here. Spaces with 1 or more animals. 2, 4, 6. We have exactly 8. So we need to like somehow. How do we do that? We need to add more influence there. That's what we need to do. Yeah. So at the end of the year, at the end of this year now, we do the first voting phase and hope we win. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I didn't draw a card. All right, Climate Change Summit. You must pay 2 million to put this card into play. Add 2 influence to the ambassador with the least or the most influence tokens to it. That's not too bad, but 2 million, we don't have that at the moment. But let's see. Okay, so it's her turn. What do we need to do? We need to remove destruction tiles because we have too many there, right? Yeah, let's see. Okay. So first of all, yeah, let's do that. Let's go 5. I will remove that that influence cube and then remove these 2 destruction tiles. Okay. Let's see. Then I will go here. I will pay 1 million in order to remove this destruction tile that is not adjacent to any animal. That's the only one that we can remove. Okay. And then we have the 5. With the 5, we could add more influence, maybe. That's something we could do. What we could also do is just be safe and play 1 card from our hand. So we have 8 here, so we have 1 more cube that we could get rid of here. Yeah, it's all pretty rough. Okay, so let's roll a 2 or lower. That's a 1. That's very good. We get 1 back here. Put that one there and this one down here. Okay, that is good. 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 10 spaces again. We need 8. All right, so destruction. Let's choose row 2. That's a 4. Okay. So please, not a tiger sighting. It's poachers. Instant impact, lose a number of tigers equal to the current year number, but no more than 3 tigers. So we need to lose 3 tigers. That is absolutely horrible because that puts us in the position that we can't get the yes votes anymore. So something that makes sense. Let me remove this one and that one, and I guess this one. Like this. Yeah. Oh man, this is bad. 2, 4, 6. We only have 7 spots anymore. That means now it's the lobbyist's turn. Yeah, okay. So you draw 1 more card, adopt an animal, discard a card from your hand, then move 1 or 2 animals up to 2 spaces each. So there was only 1 card of there in there because I discarded that at the beginning and said it's important, but it will come up again. Yeah, well, there's only 1 card in the deck, so I didn't know that. All right, the lobbyist. Okay, so now we need to try to secure our victory. If not, then we have 1 more round. But I don't really want to have 1 more round. I want to secure it now. 1, 2, 4. We need to create mating pairs. Otherwise, we can't win anymore. Okay. We need to move 1 animal. So let's move an animal 1 space. Let's move, I don't know. Let's move this one here. Okay. Can we can't get rid of any of these, right? Actually, I moved it like this, right? Let me maybe do it differently. Let me move that one right there. And then we can play a 2 here to discard a card. And then we can remove up to 2 destruction tiles adjacent to mating pairs. So I can remove this one. That could help. I could just, well, actually, we need more influence. So let me just add an influence to, it doesn't really matter to anything. Let me just add it here. 2, 4, 6, 7 plus 8. Okay, so we can lose 1 there. We can't lose any there. We can also lose 1 there. Okay, so we'll just put 1 there. 2, 4, 6. So we need to mate. The tigers need to mate this round, and we must have no tiger sighting. Then we can win this round. Okay, mating. 2 or lower. Come on. Okay, that's it. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that's not enough. Okay, then it's destruction. Let's do. What do we do? Column 2. That's a 3. That is horrible. We lose our tiger here. Oh, I think we lost. Yeah, it all went down the drain now. Impact. Poachers. Lose a number of tigers equal to the current year number. Yeah. Now it all goes downhill. We lose another 3 tigers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing we can do anymore. Yeah, we pretty much lost. Let me just remove these 3, I guess. Okay, that's it. Everything went down the drain within like 2 turns. Yeah, that's it. You draw a card. All right, and now it's the end of the year, but now we just don't forward a year, go forward a year, because now you see the player count here, right? Now you see that we have our first voting year. So what we do now is we go through all the ambassadors from left to right, and we see like which of these do we have, which of these vote yes, right? And they vote yes depending on whether we have fulfilled their demands or not. So let's start with Canada. Count active player cards plus these cubes must be 14. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. The first yes vote, we need 4. Destruction tiles in the supply, we have 11 or even 12. Let me just check again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 12. So we have 10 or more. That's fine. France, we need active persistent impacts plus cubes. That's 8. That's 9. 5 plus 4. So we have that as well. We have 3 yes votes already. Here, greater of the 2 die results. We can't even try because we need 8 or more. With 1 die, we cannot get 8. And here now we need to have a die result of 6, including that influence. So let's just, let's just roll for the die. Let's take, and let's see if we can make it. And that is a 5. Okay, 5 plus 1, that's 6, right? So we actually made that as well. That means we have 4 yes votes. The last one would be spaces with 1 or more animals, would be 8. We only have 2. So we didn't make that. But yeah, that means we have 4 yes votes, and with that, we won the game. That was very lucky at the end, but also we would have like 1 more year to try. But then again, if we like lost more tigers now or whatever, that would be really bad. And yeah, that's how you play the game Endangered, designed by Joe Hopkins and published by the Grand Gamers Guild. A game I really, really enjoy. I like this a lot. So if you play with the otters, then you just turn over the board. You have like water there, and you have oil spills instead. And then you also have a different impact deck. You have different ways of mating. They move differently. They always like try to move towards the shore. There's a shore on the right. So this is like very, very different, right? And this is like kind of cool if you have like also a few, like these are the 2 animals in the base game. But if you also have like expansions, this like also changes gameplay up a lot. Looking forward to getting like, trying to complete my collection this year. Also, I just backed the recent Kickstarter with another big box expansion. So really looking forward to that. So yeah, I really like the game a lot. I wouldn't say this is like the best cooperative game I've ever played, but it is a game with an amazing theme, and I think the theme is also really well integrated. Like the way like the tigers move and mate, it's like way different to how the otters behave. Like how deforestation works is different than to how oil spill works. Like oil spills always come from the left to the right, always. It makes sense, right? They come from the open sea. They just don't like appear in the middle of nowhere. So that's kind of cool because they like come from the open sea. You can also like get rid of them, and you always want to like try to move otters towards the shore. It's way different than how tigers play. So I really like that a lot. The ambassadors also are cool. It's kind of, like at the beginning I didn't like it that you had like these die rolls here, but I think it's pretty good because if you are trying to like if you're trying to do like really well here and you just can't, because things happen and go wrong, just like I did, just in my game right now, you do have the chance to maybe do that a little bit, right? I also really like the way you like put down actions for everybody to use, and also like the asymmetry here with the different abilities and also different cards to play. It's also very cool. That also like that all enhances replayability quite a bit. So I like this. Honestly, I've only played this solo so far, but I plan to take this with me to Essen because I will also pick up a few expansions there, if they have any, and then I will like play it with a friend of mine who I will be attending Essen with, and then we can play it like at a 2-player account. I can like try how that works, but pretty much it works the same, right? We just play a 2-player game just by ourselves. But yeah, what I also like is that if you can't get the yes votes at the end of this round, you have 1 more chance to actually do it. I think that's also really cool. You can end the game like early, or you just end it like when you have to at the end. So yeah, I really like this game a lot. And this is why it's also receiving my silver Sir Thecos Ace of Games award. Not quite enough for gold, just because there are cooperative games that are a little bit better, right? And also, like, the base game box only has like 2 animals, right? So after a few games, you have seen all of that. It is still very, very good. But I think because of these factors, I would give this a silver award only. And also, it's like quite luck based, right? But it is a very, very good game in my opinion. They like really nailed the theme. So if you're looking for a good cooperative game with not too many rules, but still a lot of difficult decisions and a really good thematic integration, this could be your game. This concludes my playthrough of Endangered. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know by commenting, by liking, by subscribing to my channel, by just interacting with my videos. That all helps me elevate my channel even more and bring you even better videos. Alright, I want to thank you all for your support, especially I want to give a shout out to my generous patrons. The biggest thanks go to Thecos for supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that, I really appreciate that. You can also support me by watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, support me on Patreon, and join my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the very next video. Take care everyone, stay safe, and cheers.